out her tables, because originally she only had 2 weapons that she dropped, so we wanted to update that. So we took some Molten Core loot and put it here. So here's an example. Here's Quel'Serrar, Deathbringer, and the City and Edgeblade. And then here's their versions that'll be dropping on the new Onyxia. So you can see they've been massively upgraded. You know, there's nothing like getting a new weapon. It really helps stat increase. So we really wanted to make sure that we wanted to get people here, get them a chance to experience this encounter. So we wanted loot to make sure that people would come. And I think this is definitely going to do it. So also, we've got Onyxia Whelpling. I don't think anyone's actually seen this yet. We might have actually beat them to the punch on this one. It's good. So this is the Onyxia Whelp. So anyone who logs into the game during, we're gonna have a 2 or 3 long week phase where anyone that logs into the game will get a mail, and you'll get the Onyxia Whelp for logging in during the 5-year anniversary of WoW. Now you can't see it here, but this Whelpling actually has some really cool, unique animations. She actually tries to deep breath occasionally, every few minutes. And she fails occasionally and just ends up blowing smoke rings. But it looks really awesome. We've got custom art on it that looks great. So to close this out, the last thing we wanted to talk about is a new feature that we're and as you can imagine, what this is going to do is allow you to get into 5-player instances with players that are on other realms. Now the tech for this definitely supports raids, so we can definitely do this with raids, but we're going to kick it off with 5-player, see how it goes, and then we're definitely going to open it up from there. It's going to start out working on your battle groups, and you know, the same way that you can expect it, something very similar to the way Battlegrounds work now. With Cross Server Battlegrounds, we're looking to do something like that, very similar here. This is definitely something that is going to help pugs a ton. So if you can imagine, you think it's really hard to find that group for Wailing Caverns right now. It's going to be a lot easier after this, when you've got 20 or 30 servers of people that might need to do that quest. Now you can come here and be able to do that without necessarily having such a hard time finding people to play with. Big part of this is also going to be a reward system. So we definitely want to reward people for using this system to encourage them to take a part of it. And the concept here is the same way in the LFG now, you can flag yourself as a leader. You can flag yourself as what your actual playstyle is. If you flag yourself as a leader and take a group through a dungeon in LFG, we actually want to reward you for that. So maybe there's some people that have never been in Wailing Caverns, but you're a pro at it. So you go into LFG and flag yourself as a leader. If you successfully complete the dungeon, you'll end up getting a reward for that. This is something we currently have on tap for patch 3.3.0. That's tentative. It's what we're shooting for. We think this is definitely something that we can get out before Cataclysm, though, for sure. And that's what we have for Dungeons and Raids. So I think we've got about 15, 20 minutes for Q&A. Thank you, guys.
Mind if I hold it? Lock on. Yeah, my question is for additional instances cannot be launched on servers. And I actually have a solution for this too. You guys have already initiated the Battlegrounds queue from anywhere. Why not have a summoning stone just be a queue stone?
Okay, well, the cannot launch more instances problem, that's something that's right now we're having a problem with because literally so many of you are wanting to do instances. There is an active solution for this that's actually being deployed right now.
Some servers, in progress.
Yeah, some servers already have the solution. The tech that gets rid of that message that provides you with a whole lot more capacity to run instances is actually the same technology that allows Cross Server LFG. Right now, like I said, some realms have it. They're deploying it right now on the rest of them. It should, probably within a month or 2, all realms will have it, and you guys shouldn't see that message anymore unless the loot is really good and you want to do a whole lot of instances.
And as far as your question about the summoning stones and the way that'll work, the concept behind the LFG system is definitely you're going to be able to use it from anywhere like LFG now, and it's definitely going to have a form of summoning. It's going to pull the players from the other instances directly to the instance to play with you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the LFG system is getting completely redone along with the Cross Server LFG stuff. So.
Yes, Bradley, Rush, Lompuck. Thank you for a great game, by the way, and the dungeons in particular. Just want to know, since you've done Onyxia, are you planning to go back and do any others just like you've done this?
We currently don't have plans to go back and do anything else. Onyxia just came up, like I mentioned, I think it was just a special case because she was, our first raid boss, and we just thought it was a chance to give players that maybe didn't get to see her a chance to see her and actually have it be worth something, and then also a chance for players to maybe relive a memory from where they had, maybe got that first piece of loot there to go back and do it again. I definitely think it's something that we would only do in a kind of a special case scenario.
One other thing. One statement. Just one statement. It's for the Alliance.
So the Sons of Hodir, they really loved me when I went and polished their helmet and stuff, but they didn't care when I saved their dad. Are you going to bring reputations back in raids and make them worthwhile again?
Reputations in dungeons and raids are definitely something that we want to bring back in a different way. I mean, I think you could see the evolution of that a little bit through Lich King with the new reputation system, where you could wear the tabard and earn rep by doing heroic dungeons that way. We've been having a lot of talks about how we want to implement rep into these new dungeons. Unfortunately, we don't have Alex here. He's one of the guys that's actually heading that system up. So we have plans for that, but we don't really have any more details on it right now. But we definitely want it. It's something we want to do.
First of all, thanks for making a great game that's ridiculously addictive. The question I have is the progression of how raids have played out since Vanilla WoW was single target DPS on a more of a very strong elite mob that's pathing around to now it feels like it's an AoE fest. Almost all of the in-game instances now it's grab 15, 20 mobs, everybody AoE, everybody AoE. Is that going to be a continuation going forward where it's more AoE focused, or are we going to see a chance for some classes to really shine at their single target DPS and non-boss encounters?
Sure. Definitely there was an evolution towards AoE DPS, especially in 5-player dungeons, where a lot of people, they just group them all together and go to town. As you mentioned, it's not just an issue of single target DPS, it's also an issue of crowd control. We actually gave most all the classes some form of crowd control, and then most players stopped using it because they didn't need to. There will be some adjustments on our end, on the encounter team. We will provide a little bit more casters. A lot of the dungeons had a preponderance of melee mobs that tend to group up and make it easy to AE. We also will adjust the raids as well. I mean, any ads fight will lend itself towards AE, but there are boss fights. We do try to provide that provided to have boss fights that are more about single target DPS, just working on the one boss. So classes that specialize in that can shine more.